biggest lie is that I will be happy once I achieve success. That's the biggest lie. Because I remember literally 14 years in as an entrepreneur, we started achieving goals, right? We set a goal, we achieve it, but then we would move the goal because we thought that once we achieved that goal, we'd be happy.
All right, we are here in Tampa. We're eating at a sushi restaurant right next to the pier. So it looks really, really pretty. And we figured since we are all about dream life, we are going to start doing videos, at restaurants where we eat so that you can see us. How are we doing this whole thing? So today I'm going to interview Cease and see what is his perspective about, what's the new program that we're creating. Okay. So Cease, are you ready for all the questions I'm going to have for you?
I am ready and able and willing.
Awesome. All right. The very first question is, what is a dream life really, and why do most people never actually get there?
This is it, right? A dream life is about a life, living a life that is an and life versus an or life. The default is that we can only go here or there, have this or that, um, buy this or that. And a dream life is about having this and that, right? Going here and there, find this and that, right? So it's all about and having living an and life. So for us, we decided that right before COVID in 2019, we wanted to live a dream life. And our dream life is for us, it's different for everybody, but for us, it's about going where we want, when we want, stay as long as we want, bring as many people as we want, because we didn't have that. We were going down that road as well, defaulting to living inside those box life that is you have to choose. You have to choose between success, and your family. You have to choose between the time that you spend at work versus the time that you spend at home, or even taking your success career business over yourself, or having to go to work and not be able to go to your children's, um, school or sports or anything like that. So it's about having an and life versus an or life. So for us, it's go where we want, when we want, stay as long as we want, bring in as many people as we want. That is our dream life.
So, Cease, why do so many successful people feel stuck, overwhelmed, and or unfulfilled?
Because this is the normal, right? The normal box that was created for us, or that was created when we're asked that question, who do you want to be when you grow up? Well, that creates a box because then you have to choose. You have to choose who you become. So I remember at third grade, I was asked this question, who do you want to be when you grow up, right? Then they gave me a box of cards. And in that box of cards had, things I took out. It had, a police officer, dentist, doctor, salesperson. It had fireman. It had politician. It had, uh, manager, all of these things, and software engineer. I chose to be an engineer. So when you choose, then what ends up happening is you create this box. Now you have to become. You have to become that identity, right? And I believe that is what I call man's creation, because then you try to seek out to achieve that identity. So what do? You go to school for 25 years, or even sometimes some people go to school even longer than that, right? Just imagine like neurosurgeon, they go to school till they're like 30, 32 years old, right? And they get into debt, or $500,000 in debt, just to what? Leave and go get paid $500,000 a year. It's insanical. And then so you go to school that long, and then you work for another 40, 30 some years, just to live free for the last 10 or 15 years of your life. Retire happy, and hopefully everything works out, right? So the reason why I bring that up is because once we choose that identity, now it becomes us. Now we strive everything to achieve that identity. And it's always business first or career first profession first, success first. That once we get there, then we're enough. If we don't get there, we're not enough, right? Our own self worth is all tied to the identity of our profession instead of the identity of God's creation. God's creation is very different. It's who are we? See, becoming and being are two separate words. Becoming is becoming somebody you're being is finding out your true calling or your true purpose, your true strength, your gift, the superpowers that you can actually turn because that's actually who you are. That's being what God's already created you to be. So that is why people get stuck.
Man, that is balls. That is amazing. So the next question. What is the hidden cost of building a business without designing your life first?
You make that a priority. So your time, just like a profession, right? A career. Let's say you chose like me, engineer. What then ends up happening is you strive to become that person. So what do you got to do? You then essentially trade time to be that person. Trade time by going to school, trade time by working. Like Ronnie Ware wrote a book called The Top Five Regrets of the Dying. So you might want to read that. Ronnie Ware, Top Five Regrets of the Dying. And the number one regret of the dying is that I wish I would have lived a life true to myself instead of a life that is what's expected of me. The second one is I wish I would have not worked so hard. I wish I would have not traded my time, essentially my life, for pay, right, for income. So those are the top two regrets, and there's three others as well. But that's basically what happens. People strive to be successful in business or in their profession, their career. Essentially, what all you're doing is just trading time, essentially trading yourself, your life for income, right? For income without essentially knowing the destination. So, for example, your job, your career, your business, all it is just a vehicle to get to a destination. So ideally, if you don't know the destination, you're essentially driving east looking for a sunset, right? So what you want to do is you want to design what a dream life looks like first. At least you know where you're going, and then you find a vehicle that will fund and fuel it. That's the better way of doing it.
Hello, C. Savan here. Before we dive into the video, I just wanted to really first off say thank you for being here. And because you're actually here, I'm going to invite you to attend our Dream Life, Dream Business Challenge. It's a challenge where we're going to walk you through how to live your dream life, how to love your dream business, build a business you're absolutely in love with, waking up every single day doing what you know and love. I would love to have you to do three things. One is to like this video and comment your biggest takeaways, and then most importantly, subscribe so that when we drop a new training for you, you can actually be alerted as well. So again, I really appreciate you for being here, and subscribing to our channel is free, and we promise you we will not let you down with our content. So again, appreciate you being here. Thank you very, very much. Let's dive right into the video.
I love, love, love it. And we have some really amazing sushi here. You guys can have a look at that, right? This is what I like. Tuna tataki.
I like variety. She likes my beautiful wife loves certainty. I love variety.
Absolutely. So now it links to what is the biggest lie entrepreneur believe about success, hard work, and growth?
The biggest lie is that I will be happy once I achieve success. That's the biggest lie. Um, we have this thing called a primary question. And because that was asked of me of who I wanted to be when I grow up, or you see other people doing it, like your family members striving for success, you automatically think that, well, maybe if they have the money, they have the car, they have the success, they have that role, they have that position, then they'll be happy. And that's not the case. Because I remember literally 14 years in as an entrepreneur, we started achieving goals, right? We set a goal, we achieve it, but then we would move the goal, right? Because we thought that once we achieved that goal, we'd be happy. And once we achieved it, we set a bigger goal, and then we moved the goal, and then we would go after the goal, we hit it again, and then we'd move it again. So you're never ever happy if that's your primary question. Because my primary question is, you know, how can I be successful financially? Then I'll be happy, right? Instead of now the new primary goal of 2019, we asked ourselves, well, what's happiness look like now? If time and money were no longer an issue, how would we be living now that would make us happy? and that's how we were able to design the life that we live now, which is to go where we want, living that stay as long as many people as you want. That's literally the staple, the foundation of our family. That's the foundation of our house, right? We build the foundation first, and then we build the house. And that the house is our business, right? Our business, our offer, how we market, how we sell, how we deliver, that aligns with our dream life, right? That's where the dream business comes in, or whatever vehicle you're going to use to make money to fuel and fund your dream life. So that, for me, that is the formula for success. And that is the biggest lie, that once you achieve success, hit your outcome, hit your goal, you're going to be happy. That is totally the biggest lie ever.
What changed for you, and when you stopped chasing success, started designing your dream life?
It um, became a ripple effect of happiness in every area of our life. Um, More obviously, the three areas that influence our life the most, which is yourself, your relationships, and your work. Right, your work is your career, your mission, whatever you're called to do, your purpose in life. So yourself, you just get more of yourself when you focus on. Again, you don't experience life. You get the life you experience the life you focus on. You don't experience life, you experience the life you focus on. For us, we just started experiencing more of us, more of our relationship, and then more of our work, right? So that is what really helped us. You just get more of what you focus on, again, and you get more of what you tolerate. You either get what you focus on, or you get more of what you tolerate.
All right, now we're gonna go to the next question. Who do you have to become to actually live your dream life?
um you have to really step into your dream self. Your dream self is, I see all the time, and I had this, we had this too. There's an identity gap. There's an identity gap, right? So when you're trying to become somebody or not, one of the things that Jesus said, right? um Jesus knew you before you were born, right? God knew you before you were born. What does that tell you? He already knew you, so why don't you know yourself? And ultimately, the reason why you don't know yourself is because you create this identity that you're never really meant to become, um because you're already being. So there's a whole identity gap, and if you don't close it, then you self-sabotage yourself. So, for example, we'll talk about money. If you wanted to millionaire, you wanted to make $1 million, then you would self-sabotage yourself if your temperature, let's talk about a thermostat and a thermometer. The difference between those two: a thermometer reads the temperature, a thermostat sets the temperature, right? So if your identity gap is that you're not a millionaire, you don't believe that you can, that's not your identity, then you'll never hit it. Your thermometer never hit it. But the other thing is your thermometer happens to hit it. You just happen to hit it, whether it be by accident or by luck or by hard work. It doesn't matter. Because your thermostat is not set for $1 million, you will self sabotage yourself. That's just the way it is. So there's an identity step. You have to really step in and become, all right, and be the person that you're truly meant to be, which is, I believe, is authentic. Like being authentically you, unapologetically you, right? Showing up as who you actually are, so you don't have to be anybody else. And the crazy part is, you're gonna have some people who love you, like you. You're gonna have some people who don't like you, and that you got to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. So that's, you're gonna show up as your authentic self.
So good, so good. And before we get to the next question, I guess he wants to have at least one bite in his mouth before we share it. And a little bit here, I'm gonna also record my version of it, and then you can watch it on the next video. And feel free to tell me down below whenever you feel like there's something that you feel, based on the question that we asked. Feel free to give us any feedback that you have. So, Cease, are you ready for the next question?
Let's go. Let's go.
So, how do you build a business that actually support your life instead of consuming it?
Yeah, your dream business um, is about figuring out a way where a business can fund and fuel your dream life. And a business that is a palace, not a prison. Like a business that is a palace, not a prison. one of my rules, and I didn't learn this at the very beginning of entrepreneurship. So December 3rd was our 20th year as entrepreneurs. For the first 14 years, we did it wrong. We were operators. We were working in our business all the time. We stopped working, our business stopped generating revenue. And so how do you build a palace instead? The rule is this: don't sell something that will enslave your future time. Don't sell something that will enslave your future time. So when you create your offer, your product, your service, you want to make sure that um, on top of being mastering marketing it, mastering selling it, let's make sure that you master your deliverables, how you actually deliver that so that it aligns with your dream life, that it actually fuels a dream life instead of drains it. That is how you build a business that you can scale and sell and set you free.
So what is building the right team, the turning point for?
Yeah, because the difference is it's about effort versus leverage. Effort versus leverage. Effort, if you try to do things on your own, then that's only you, right? You only have so much time in the day. Leverage is the key to success. By being able to bring in people that, again, let me share with you, that complete you. Why? Because one of the things I loved about what Mother Teresa said, you can do what I cannot do, I can do what you cannot do, but together we can do amazing, great things, right? That's what you said. So if you find people who complete you, it allows you to stay in your strength zone. It basically it frees up your time. So you actually achieve that time freedom to do your thing, to stay in your zone of genius, to stay in your lane and everything else. Work on your strengths so that you can just outsource your weaknesses. Right? You think people who know better than you, are smarter than you in that area, they do it faster than you, and it's things that you shouldn't be doing anyway that you don't want to do. So why force yourself to do it? Because you should be waking up doing what you know and what you love, and it's who you are. So everything else is outsourced, right? So for us, there's a huge game changer by leaning into leveraging people and really letting go of that control, right? Because there are people who can do it way better than you. I know that. So I hire people and fill the gap, fill the void of my deficiencies, and I hire people who are experts in it, right? So they can do the thing that I need to get done. That I just don't have to do it. First, it's just like a map. The first decision is just find out what the destination is. What does that look like? Where do you want to go? Right. So for us, go where we want, when we want, stay as long as we want, bring as many people as we want. That may not be your actual dream life, but maybe it's a version of that. Really sit down and really ask yourself, what is it that you actually want? Right? What's the destination looks like? And then second, then figure out where you're at, your location. Just like your GPS, it will not give you direction unless you tell it where you want to go and where you're at, right? So figure out, be real with yourself, be authentic with yourself, right? Be honest with yourself. Where are you at? What's missing? What do you need, right? What do you have? Things like that. And then find a vehicle. Find a vehicle that will help you close that gap between where you are to where you want to go. And sometimes it's like a road trip, right? Once you get in the vehicle, maybe you need some maybe you need some help. Maybe you need some passengers with you, like a peer group, right, to go with you. Maybe you need a coach who can help you make sure that you don't drive off the road, right, to help you close that gap from where you are to where you want to go. So that would be, if I had to give you any decision, that those are the decisions that you actually have to make in order for you to live your dream life, in order for you to live, become your dream self and run your dream business and leverage your dream team. So that's my take, right? So again, Phyllis, my wife, is gonna share with her take on the same exact question. So I'm gonna ask her in the next video uh, her perspective of all this, right? Because at the end of the day, it literally is we want to go to the same destination, me and her, and sometimes it's the approach uh isn't the same. That's okay, but we're still going to the same place. And I think you need to really lean into that. What place? Where do you actually want to go? So look on, we'll see you in the next video.
Hello, Sisavan here. I hope you enjoyed and took a lot from this video. And if you are looking to, live life on your terms, right, to be able to build a business also that allows you to live, to work, to earn from anywhere. If you're looking to delegate and automate with people, then we're inviting you to our Dream Life, Dream Business Challenge. And finally, if you took a lot from this video and you actually want more, please please comment your biggest takeaways from this particular video, and most importantly, subscribe. It's free to do so, so that this way you can be alerted every single time we actually drop a video for you, some more additional training. And again, our content will not let you down. Again, thank you very much for listening to us. Thank you very much for being here. Let's, we'll see you on the next video.